Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. Cheating is an ever-present problem in multiplayer-based games, with the cheaters and the game's developers engaged in an ever-evolving battle for supremacy. The cheaters devising new methods to inject code or otherwise alter the games to be able to gain the upper hand, while the game developers fight a reactionary battle attempting to shore up holes in security and make it as difficult as possible. Epic Games, designers of the Unreal Engine and developers of Fortnite, have taken an extremely hardline stance against cheaters, recently banning thousands of accounts for engaging in the practice. In a public statement released on their blog recently, Epic Games had the following to say in regards to their stand against cheaters. Let's be straight for a second, nobody likes playing with cheaters. Not you, not me, nobody. We play PvP games like Fortnite Battle Royale for their competitive integrity. That feeling of outshooting somebody in an intense standoff and snagging that victory royale. And then there are cheaters, the 360 spin instant headshot we all know so well. But what is Epic doing about it? To start, addressing cheaters in Fortnite is the highest priority across Epic Games. We are constantly working against both the cheaters themselves and the cheat providers, and it's ongoing. We're exploring every measure to ensure these cheaters are removed and stay removed from Fortnite Battle Royale and the Epic ecosystem. We don't want to give too many clues about what we're doing, but we are rolling out tools and will continue to do so. Thousands have been banned and we have no plans to stop. Account progression. In the next several weeks, we'll also roll out progression. Account progression means that you will earn stuff as you play. And it's not just for fun, it will also help in the war against casual cheaters and will give them less incentive to simply cheat their progression with a ban around the corner. For those persistent trolls, we'll be continuing to work on solutions. If you see something, don't stay silent. Please keep reporting this behavior and include any video and screenshots that you have. Nathan, I don't like cheaters either, Mooney, Community Coordinator. And it would seem that the phrase, "we're exploring every measure to ensure these cheaters are removed and stay removed from Fortnite Battle Royale and the Epic ecosystem," was not an idle threat, but a dedicated statement of fact that could very well spell doom for two specific cheaters in particular. The reason for that is that Epic Games has filed two basically identical lawsuits against two cheaters citing copyright infringement, breach of contract, violations of terms of service, and several others. The two defendants, Mr. Broom and Vraspier, are connected to a site called addictedcheats.net as moderators or support personnel. This site produces GUI integrated cheat tools for a variety of games, including Battlefield 1, Call of Duty, CSGO, Dead by Daylight, and a number of other titles. Now, I do have the court documents for both lawsuits, which are mostly identical, and we will go through at least what Epic Games has listed as their wrongdoings. Before that, I will be using the file against Mr. Broom, and unlike the Alex Maurer lawsuit, this is an exceptionally long document, so we won't be going through the entire 30 pages as I don't want to be disrespectful of your time or mine. That said, the copyright infringement seems based upon the cheating software that was used, modifying the code of the game and creating a derivative work which infringes Epic Games' copyright. From the lawsuit against Mr. Broom, Epic Games alleges the following. In the section titled, "The Defendant and His Unlawful Acts." Point 53, defendant is a cheater. Point 54, defendant uses cheat software, cheats, or hacks to unlawfully modify Fortnite software so that he has an unfair competitive advantage over other Fortnite players. Point 55, cheats give a cheater power to do or see things that other players cannot. For instance, a cheat might enable the cheater to see through solid objects, teleport, impersonate another player by spoofing that player's username, or making moves other players cannot, such as a spin followed by an instant headshot to another player. Nobody likes a cheater, and nobody likes playing with cheaters. These axioms are particularly true in this case. Defendant is using cheats in a deliberate attempt to destroy the integrity of and otherwise wreak havoc in the Fortnite game. As defendant intends, this often ruins the game for the other players and for the many people who watch streamers, i.e. players who video stream their gameplay for the entertainment and benefit of others. Defendant is a moderator and member of the support staff of addictedcheats.net, a cheat provider website, the cheat provider that supplies its registered users with cheats and hacks in exchange for money. Defendant frequently promotes these cheats on the cheat provider's discussion channel and assists would-be cheaters with getting the cheats to run on Fortnite. Defendant's stated goal is to use the cheats to create unwanted chaos and disorder in Fortnite. He recently characterized Fortnite as the cheat provider's highest priority. Defendant has bragged that he is working on his own cheat to use in Fortnite. In an effort to adversely impact as many people as possible while playing and cheating at Fortnite, Defendant specifically targets streamers. He has declared that it is in his objective to prevent streamers from winning the game and has boasted in online cheating discussion channels that his goal is to stream snipe, i.e. kill streamers as they stream. Defendant has said that making streamers hate Fortnite is Defendant in a nutshell. The cheat software used by Defendant and those whom Defendant induces to use such software improperly injects unauthorized code into the active memory of the game as it runs. The cheat software manipulates the functionality of the game and gives the cheater an unfair advantage over other players, changing and disrupting the game. This unauthorized modification of the game's code as it runs on the cheater's computer and of the code that it sent back to Epic servers materially changes both the game's code and the audio-visual aspects of the game generated by the code. These changes create a different version of the Fortnite game than the Fortnite game that is generated by Epic's copyright-protected software. In using cheat software to modify the game's code in this way, Defendant and other cheaters who use the cheat create unauthorized derivative works based on Fortnite in violation of the Copyright Act. Use of the cheat software also violates the express terms of both the EULA, or End User License Agreement, and the terms, both of which prohibit any modification of the game and the creation of derivative works based on Fortnite. Defendant has been banned at least once for violating the terms and the EULA. On information and belief, Defendant has circumvented this by creating numerous other accounts under false names and continues to play and cheat at Fortnite. In an effort to protect Fortnite's code from the continued efforts of Defendant and other users to cheat and create mayhem within Fortnite, Epic put in place certain technological measures to effectively control access to Fortnite's copyrighted code. In response, Defendant modified the cheat so that it is specifically designed to circumvent Epic's technological measures and instructed subscribers to the cheat provider website to do the same. This modification has no commercially significant purpose or use other than to circumvent Epic's technological measures. After successfully circumventing Epic's technological measures, Defendant posted his circumvention method to the cheat provider's discussion channel so that other cheaters could use it and bragged, "Now method is exposed, Epic eat my ass." And while Mr. Broom was banned once, Mr. Vraspier was banned at least 9 times, but continues to register new accounts in order to continue his cheating. And as a result of this, both defendants face up to $150,000 in statutory damages for copyright infringement, and have also filed for other claims for relief that include circumvention of technological measures in violation of the DMCA, or Digital Millennium Copyright Act, another for breach of contract, and one for intentional interference with contractual relations. And while to some this might seem like overkill, this could be used as a very strong legal foundation for other games developers to use in the future. And given the results of the Epic Games countersuit against Silicon Knights in 2012 that resulted in Silicon Knights being forced to literally destroy all unsold copies of their software built on the Unreal 3 engine, including all digital and physical copies, if I were either of these two gentlemen, I would be quaking in my boots. Epic Games has shown they are fully capable of turning vicious when they need to be, and their stance against cheaters in these two lawsuits are still more evidence of that, and regardless of the outcome, this is already sending a very powerful message to cheaters. And that message is readily apparent to be, don't fuck with Epic Games. But as always, please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.